He doesn't run. He doesn't speak. He doesn't have a tragic backstory that makes you sympathize with him. He is simply a force of nature. In 1978, John Carpenter unleashed something onto the world that forever changed the horror genre. He didn't just give us a killer in a mask, he gave us The Shape. Welcome to another episode of Character Profile. I'm Sean, and today we're diving into the blood-soaked, incredibly confusing, and legendary history of Haddonfield's worst nightmare, Michael Myers. Grab your chef's knife, ignore your babysitting duties, and let's get into it. To understand Michael Myers, you have to look at the original 1978 Halloween. The story starts on Halloween night, 1963. A 6-year-old Michael inexplicably murders his older sister Judith with a kitchen knife. He's sent to Smithgrove Sanitarium, where he sits in silence for 15 years staring at the wall.
You could shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up!
Shut up, bitch!
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
His psychiatrist, Dr. Sam Loomis, became the Captain Ahab to Michael's white whale. Loomis realizes there is no humanity left in this boy. Just as he famously puts it,
Eyes was purely and simply evil.
when Michael escapes in 1978 and returns to Haddonfield to stalk teenager Laurie Strode, played by the ultimate final girl, Jamie Lee Curtis, he isn't a man. In the original script and the closing credits, he is literally just called The Shape. And we can't talk about his origin without talking about the mask. The production had almost no money, so art director Tommy Lee Wallace went to a magic shop and bought a $1.98 Star Trek Captain Kirk mask. He ripped off the sideburns, widened the eye holes, and spray painted it flat white. By erasing the human features of William Shatner, they created an empty, emotionless vessel that reflected our deepest fears. Now, if you want to watch the Halloween franchise from start to finish, good luck, because there isn't just one storyline. Depending on which movie you're watching, Michael is either a supernatural cult member, a mortal man, or Laurie Strode's brother. Let's untangle this mess. Timeline 1 is a Thorn cult timeline. This includes parts 4, 5, and 6. Halloween 2 established that Laurie was actually Michael's sister, which gave him a motive. But by part 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, the writers went off the rails. They explained that Michael was controlled by an ancient Celtic druid curse called the Code of Thorn, which forces him to kill his bloodline. Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds. Timeline 2 is the H2O timeline. In 1998, they said, forget 4, 5, and 6.
Fuck 'em.
Halloween H2O is a direct sequel to Halloween 2. Laurie Strode faked her death and is living in California. Michael tracks her down 20 years later. This timeline unfortunately ends with Halloween Resurrection in 2002. A movie where Busta Rhymes literally does kung fu on Michael Myers. Moving on. Timeline 3 is the Rob Zombie remakes. In 2007 and 2009, musician and director Rob Zombie gave us a totally separate universe. He gave Michael a brutal, white trash backstory, explaining his childhood trauma. It's gritty, it's nasty, and it's a complete different flavor of Michael. Timeline 4 is the Blumhouse modern reset. Starting with the 2018 Halloween, director David Gordon Green wiped the slate completely clean. He erased everything after the 1978 original. In this universe, Michael and Laurie are not siblings. He's just a random psychopath who was locked up for 40 years until he breaks out again.
4 years just for weed? Damn!
This trilogy just wraps up with Halloween Ends. Oh, and then there's Halloween 3 Season of the Witch,
Turn it off! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
which doesn't feature Michael Myers at all. It's a standalone movie about cursed Halloween masks that turn kids' heads into bugs and snakes. It's a banger, but it has nothing to do with our boy Michael. Because Michael never speaks and his face is hidden, a lot of different guys have put on the coveralls. Since 1978, several different actors and stuntmen have played the adult Michael Myers. In the original 1978 film, Michael was primarily played by Nick Castle. Castle wasn't even an actor, he was John Carpenter's film school buddy who just hung around on set. Carpenter hired him for $25 a day because he liked the way Castle walked.
Gay.
But for the very end of the movie, when Laurie pulls off the mask, they needed a real actor's face. So Tony Moran stepped in for that single shot. In Halloween 2, stuntman Dick Warlock took over, giving Michael a much stiffer, more robotic, and relentless vibe. And throughout the 80s and 90s, legendary stuntmen like George P. Wilbur, who played him twice, Don Shanks, Chris Durant, and Brad Loree all took their turns wielding the knife. But when Rob Zombie rebooted the franchise in 2007, he wanted a monster. He cast Tyler Mane, a former professional wrestler and the guy who played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie. At 6'9", Mane is the tallest actor to ever play Michael. And he's absolutely terrifying. He's also the first actor to play Michael in consecutive films.
Back to back.
Finally, in the recent Blumhouse trilogy, the role went to James Jude Courtney. Courtney brought in incredible, brutal physical acting to the character. He famously learned how to move like a killer from a former mafia hitman he once lived with. Courtney gave us a Michael who was older, but somehow more savage and more efficient than ever. So why does Michael Myers endure? Why, nearly 50 years later, are we still terrified of a guy in a spray-painted Star Trek mask? It's because he's a blank slate. Jason Voorhees wants revenge for drowning, Freddy Krueger wants revenge for being burned alive, but Michael just wants to kill.
I like it a lot.
You can't reason with him, you can't bargain with him. Was that an accidental Terminator reference without even knowing it? And you can't understand him. He is the boogeyman. And as long as there's Halloween night, the Shape will always be out there, standing just out of focus in the shadows. That's it for Character Profile. What is your favorite Halloween timeline? Are you a Thorn cult defender or a Rob Zombie apologist? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. And remember, look behind the hedges tonight. I'll see you in the next one.